afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast. I'm your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero Site Defender of the Fatherland. Off into an exciting 1 versus 1 on. Whole lot in the federal between these. We got Quicksilver, fighting for America, freedom, democracy. The 5th Armored Division versus in the West, we got Miragefla, fighting for the Wehrmacht, the Oberkommando West, Germany. The 17th SS Panzergrenadier Division, goods from Bellicking in this note from the December balance preview patch, which has just been updated. He's using the new updated Firestorm with incendiary munitions, Opel Blitz trucks, amongst other things, new additions. Whereas this one gets reserve armor units, which gives access to 76mm Shermans and upgrades for the 75mm ones, raid tactics, and some other change, including mortar half tracks. So we've got W and start there for Quicksilver. Double Sturm Pioneer start here for Miragefla with the Kugelwagen following up. They're heading northwards. Listen, securing territory there as well. Swiftly for America. Miragefla's spreading out there, but that also means the north side here is a bit more vulnerable. The compartment, for example, is easily rushed by Quicksilver and it can't easily defend it. Of course, the last Miragefla is more aggressive, but certainly has a few risks. We'll see how that works out. Seeing northwards there. We're saying northwards. Note by the Dart truck there is slightly weaker in terms of armor, has more health, but is also now free in terms of fuel. It just costs manpower now, which could be a point of problems down the road if not carefully done. Though of course it now doesn't start with a machine gun, if I remember correctly. Volska's following up there for Miragefla. Also note about this covers now not just flamethrower upgrades, but the full skin, these gets MP40s and smoke grenades. Apparently there's also other grenades. Kugelwagen there, the Sturmpanzer supporting with the reactions here, opening up the Sturmpioneers to charge forwards here. Kugelwagen supporting. Miragefla going aggressively here for the fatherland. The Götz von Bellichingen. Named after a German mercenary. The division was supposed to be originally known as Charlemagne, but that didn't work out because there's a French SSU that was already named that, or wanted that name. So focusing southwards there, cutting off points there. We got a dart truck out here for him, and as you might notice there now, it starts out like this. That basically works as a transport. Of course, can have troops firing out of it, I imagine. And then you sort of need to add like a 50 cal machine gun to sort of want more firepower that way. Steel pilots push back the rifleman there. Dodge truck rolling ahead. In the south territory being secured by the German army. Fulton's following up here. Getting back there to the calf point. Rifleman pushing ahead. Up north, Steel Pioneers fighting in. Almost got enough resources to add the 50 cal machine gun to it, and there you go, adding the 50 cal, the Mardus. Almost got the southern fuel pump secured here. So far, Miragefla is only going to be denying and gaining fuel. More filters arriving there for Miragefla. There's some time though, he's still short in command. Oh, he just needs apparently a command truck up first, then he can get it. Also a bit expensive. Oh, apparently loses the incendiary grenade for high explosive ones. Alright. Anyways, folks, there's reactions there holding up behind cover, pitching northwards there. Sturm punches in the folks to grab the calf point back. In that case, Miragefla might want to take up soon here versus Quicksilver and the 5th Armored Division. And there you go, 5th go over there rolling down, opening up in the Kugelwagen. Just slowly falling back. Sturm Pioneers also retreating. Does not have access to Panzerfaust there. It just doesn't have a truck out, so that's last basically very aggressive here with its Dodge truck. Still gets down damage, as you might notice the loss of armor does make it easier for bullets to penetrate it. A bit similar to how the Kugelwagen is how easy to deal with. And then he needs to retreat, he's pushing his troops a bit too far with the limit, and he gets a dart truck. That's actually a bit of loss, that's showing a manpower gone, plus the 60 munitions invested into the 50 cal machine guns. And after the flowing resources, lost the Kugelwagen to the armies. A loss there for the German army. Truck there on the way. As for Miragefla, we got the lieutenant on the way, so we'll have to see how Miragefla goes for there. We'll go for the battle group headquarters, we'll go for the Mechanized regiment. We also got here raid tactics. Problem is, oh, they also infantry also getting some bonus doing it. That's cheeky. Certainly means, well, I mean, if I'm playing Americans, Mechanized company suddenly looking amazingly good to me. Raid tactics just amazing, in particular because, well, it's actually discounted almost a practice compared to a lot of these similar abilities, which you think of at least close to 35, but only allows you, for example, the Germans to grab territory, decap it. So that's quite something else. Plus, I mean, access to M4 or 76mm Shermans and upgrades for the Shermans to just make them tougher and whatnot. So Battle Group Headquarters up here for Miragefla, pushing ahead here. Liaison sticking up for the south, having with ease now grabbed most of the map there. With ease. So Battle Group Headquarters almost done. He'll probably have to go some more troops. He can also then soon go for some assault packages there for his Fultz Grenadiers. The text says it gains another man, but I don't think that is actually there. That might have been a mistype or something. Also, it's a bit of weird English. Another man is also issued to the squad. I mean, in theory, I suppose you could put it like that. Issued. I don't know. Anyways. 50 cal almost done there for Quicksilver. Take down. Sturmpanzer moving back there for reinforcements. Getting a Panzerschreck. Can also go for at least one assault package here. And we got there on the Fultz Grenadier squad here close to the base. Assault package on the way. More on the way as well there. Needs to be a bit more aggressive. I mean, here versus Quicksilver is being perhaps a bit too passive. Though at the same time you could argue Quicksilver is also sitting back rather aggressively. And not really pushing his opponent very much. And there we go. We got the Oberblitz cargo truck out there. Used also for troop transport. They also have more sort of designated troops there. They also give them a bonus there to, I believe, their reload, which is obviously not going to be suited if they've been alert to cooldown. For some means, you know, they'll not be sort of spending as much time. Actually, the Sturmpanies might benefit from slow or faster reload times. Plus, in theory, I suppose you could start it up next to support weapons. They benefit a bit. Panzerschrecks might also benefit a bit there, so you know, it can sort of boost your firepower a bit. But there you go, rushing hit, assault package ready, charging forwards. Going straight for the curve point. We got bigger fighting up north, though he might want to use the drought strike instead to Oberblitz to flank behind. We'll see there. Going for the curve point. Raid tactics going out here from Quicksilver, going up close. Fulton there, Sturmpani supporting. There we go. Model 24 grenade. Sturmpani's joining in. Need to get them reinforced. There we go. Pushing back and successfully pushing Quicksilver off the southern fuel. Lastly, securing a lot of territory. Fast, of course, immediately reinforced at the front line as well. So it certainly is quite handy there for Miragefla. Quite handy. And the 17th SS as a Panzergun division would most likely have had any motorized elements. They would have been trucks to sort of move about the troops. They would not access the armored half tracks. Up north there, Fultz Sturmpanzer finding out he versus the Americans. 50 cover dug in to help defend. Very good. 50 caliber number 2 out there for Quicksilver. That's going to make it hard here for Miragefla to do what he wants. There you go, being suppressed, shot at. Need to fall back towards the truck. Almost got the southern fuel point there, grabbed and connected. And a flat half track there for Miragefla and the 17th SS. There you go, pop right into the truck. They should probably pull a wave there from the front line, popping in the Fultz Grenadiers. A lot of Americans in the way. Sure that he continuing being flanked here with the reactions in theory. So overall, not the most efficient move down there in the south of Miragefla, and the Infantry weren't quite able to pull through, and at the same time lost a lot more territory up north here to Quicksilver. If you can shift up the truck and sort of get behind the position and do some damage that way, you should be able to reverse things there. Mine goes off, killing a few Yankees, but nothing too serious. He's basically going to have to go up through here and then get behind the 5th Cavalry machine. If he can do that, he should have a good chance of overthrowing Quicksilver's northern position. There we go. Quicksilver realises what's going on and just retreats to avoid death here. As the Germans suddenly appear with their Oberblitz. Actually, I've been wanting something like the Oberblitz for ages. For the Oberkommand West at the very least. Though it's also going to be fun for the Wehrmacht. But either way, there you go. Flak half-taker ramming here from Miragefla as well. 251-17. And now recapturing the north. Flak half-track, by the way, has had its experience requirements low. Of course, I'll be covering a lot more of the specific details in the video that's also be going up today here. That certainly makes the flak half-track there slightly better. So now it can activate Veteran up fast, and particularly hitting Veteran 2 fast, which is really the critical level for the flak half-track, since with that it becomes a lot more mobile, which is really what the flak half-track wants and needs to be. Forces pushing back the right from there, defending the southern victory point. You might want to consider the MD-34, which has by the way also been buffed. Forces popping out there towards the upper blitz, grabbing the fuel point. Apparently you've moved a bit too fast there. Delaying fuel income there, which could allow Quicksilver to get in. In fact, Quicksilver is taking up pretty fast. He's aiming here for the M40 or 76mm Sherman here. which is essentially, in terms of stats, apparently just like the Lend-Lease COH, I mean, just with different veterancy bonuses. So it's going to pack quite a punch, basically. And he'll probably try to rush it out. Miragefla should probably try and aim for schwer punted quarters as soon as possible and get out some armor and also some orbitals on, because I think an orbital blitz there working with a couple of orbital swords is actually going to be quite potent. I think that would actually make the orbital subdardon really solid. Fortunately, they're being suppressed by the 50 caps they push through the center. You could also consider a light infantry gun. I mean, incendiary rounds in there could dig out his opponent, plus the smoke screen would also be handy for Mirage. A flat half-track orbital blitz moving in. He's going for head-on assault on the 5th cal machine gun with the orbital blitz. I'm guessing he's been inspired there by Grebner and his assault there on Arnhem Bridge and all the trucks that got blown to bits. At least Grebner stuffed, drums filled with sound lights. I mean, he has Mirage doesn't hear. Smoke screen off, but the problem is the orbital blitz wasn't cut. The flat half-track actually taking damage as well there. Bit of a botch assault there by Miragefla. You should have, I think, tried to get on the other side and just gone on the entire other end of the position and then sort of rushed ahead there maybe, but too late for that. And now orbital blitz is sadly gone, though it is reasonably replaceable, though costing only slightly less than a 251 half-track. Till called in here by Quicksilver on Miragefla's positions here by the house. We also got an MU-34 out, which has done some damage. Don't need to clear that out, so we've got another 50 cal out here for Quicksilver. He's making very good and aggressive use of them, making harder there for Miragefla to use his infantry in any aggressive manner, which is definitely what he wants to. Oh, he might be able to get, there we go, pop smoke, which might just barely save the flak after being riddled with holes and left, a wreck. So that's going to be pretty close. They're going for a light infantry gun finally. Fortunately, needs to pull over to the battlefield headquarters to get healed and reinforced. Almost got the 50 caliber there. Almost, there you go. Forces out in the open. Small victory there for Miragefla and the 17th SS. MU-34, they need to be careful though. Getting flanked here, getting outnumbered, swarmed by Yankees. You can also now consider going for the schwer punted quarters. So we should go for some Kedmevs in the meanwhile to, make up for lack of amount of tank, because one Panzerschreck is definitely not going to cut it. So right now though, Quicksilver just launching hit. They're using raid tactics again. He's certainly very intuitively catching on with that one and using it very painfully here versus Miragefla. Right, infantry gun there arriving, incendiary barrages, regular ones, and the smoke. And just needs to fix up the flak half-track, get it back in action as soon as possible here versus Quicksilver. Truck moving in. As for the new Sherman, it costs about, well, actually, pretty much the same as the Lend-Lease Sherman, or if not the EC8. Obviously, it's not going to be quite on the same level as the EC8, thank the heavens. In some ways, it will probably be able to outperform it. It won't be quite as tough, but certainly with a rate of fire bonus, it will be certainly packing more of a punch there. All the flat half-tracks living fixed up. The Kedmeth there rhyming as well, good. And then schwer punted course around the fuel cut-off point, I think would do a lot there for Miragefla. They're just going to have to keep several Kedmeths nearby because his opponent will likely try and rush with the tanks and destroy it. Up north, the Fulska's pulling ahead there with MP40s, Veteran 2 already. 40 minutes of the game and they're only Veteran 2. They could consider incendiary rounds to flash it out, and there you go. Got them going. Straight towards the church. Direct hit there. Lighting on fire. Mein Gott, Otto. Just look at it burn. Yeah, it's very nice. It reminds me of the Reichstag at one time. You what? Nothing. So far, nothing happened. There's very much Schlepper. Quicksilver is very close to the 76mm Sherman. Volkswagen jump on, he's pushed back the lieutenant here. And flat half-track catching the major bit there out in the open. Quicksilver flooding a bit on manpower, going for a fuel cache there. That's a good long-term decision here versus Miragefla. He also might want to consider, shifting the flat calf track more to the north. I mean, he's got the Infantry already covering the centre field. It's a bit overkill to have the flat calf track there as well when there's north. And his fuel pod, more specifically, is being consistently threatened here by Quicksilver as well. The Rifle being suppressed, pinned. Steel Pioneers being suppressed by the 5th caliber in return. But the Rifle nonetheless have to fall back first, allowing the others to get away. And there you go, trying to flank the Rifle into tank. It goes off. But nonetheless, they're taking heavy damage here for the flat calf track, which gains Veterans 1 as it just slaughters the Yankees. German infantry standing about here. Assault Team Ludwig there waiting for reinforcements and healing. And there you go, sweeping away here the Major, almost killing him. 50 caliber popping into the chest, but then sending a grenade should be able to flush it out pretty fast. And there you go, we got the 76mm Sherman out there, which otherwise gets smoked as well. And of course the ability to pop out its crew, so you know, pretty nasty nonetheless. Going up, engaging there the Germans, taking a hit there from the Panzerschreck. Panzerfaust got offset, could slow down a bit, but the Sturmpass need to retreat. Going for the Mechanized regiment, I feel, is a bit of a bold decision. I mean, I guess I can understand he wants to go for the Puma to counter it, but long term, it definitely does not feel like the best decision. He should probably, I think, be aiming for armor here versus Quicksilver. Because the Pumas, to an extent, work, but the problem is, as Quicksilver then gets out more and more 76mm with the Shermans, the Pumas will definitely be falling behind unless Miragefla is able to use them highly efficiently and just outnumber his opponent consistently. And now we got a Molotov take out here for Quicksilver, which is now on top of everything, gotten smoke barrages. So now it's got regular barrages, smoke barrages, white phosphorus barrages, and delayed fuse high explosive barrages, meaning I'm pretty sure that's the only artillery piece in the game with 4 barrages. I mean, even at 3 barrages it had a lot, but now it's got 4. You gotta wonder where it's keeping all those different types of munitions. God damn it, Eugene! That's not the white phosphorus, that's my coffee thermos. Sorry. Don't use sorry, to me. Second fuel cache up. People can see Quicksilver's really building up for the long haul. Puma out there for Miragefla. He's still going to really have to put some pressure. He needs to get seriously aggressive as Quicksilver and try to outmaneuver him, because otherwise he's going to get ground down beneath the Allied war machine. Got the Sherman heading northwards. Akedmef are not. We got a Panzerschreck there, but Puma couldn't intercede as well. Akedmef is in the centre. There you go, Sherman rolling here. Straight into the Panzerschreck and the flat calf track. Puma moving in as well there. Shot bounces though. Exposing the of the Sherman to the Sturm Pioneer. Another hit there from the Puma penetrates. Rocket penetrating the Sherman, taking down to less than half health. With flat calf tank towards the center. MD-44 point covering fire there. 11 kills. That T2 is definitely gaining more of an impact now. Reaching shores get blasted by the flat calf track. There we go. Pinned down to the ground, defending the victory point. We should note here Miragefla is really far behind there. He's not been able to control the map very efficiently here versus Quicksilver so far. The 10 flanking versus the folks there in the south. The ones with the MP40s. Puma fixed up here, ready to hunt down some Yankee Panzers or anything else Yankee related. While the flat calf track is slowly approaching Veteran C2, which is good. Sherman being fixed up in the north there by the northern victory point. Miragefla is defending the centre victory, but nothing else. And now we got the flame heads out there, which has also been buffed to do more damage now. So we'll have to see how that performs. Fighting in for the northern munitions. We've got Rifleman creeping in there with BARs in hand. The Flum heads should be able to deal with that. Sherman moving in as well. They're getting a hit from the Puma. Need to get a Kedma for there, something else to support. Sherman misses there the Flum heads up, which definitely seems to be doing more damage now to the Rifleman. Certainly swiftly pushing them away, but Miragefla is still not really gaining an awful lot of ground. In fact, he's losing it as it currently stands. Flat calf attack, Puma moving in. Rifleman about to get wiped here by the Flum head, so that was definitely an impact. That hurt. wiping one of Quicksilver's rifle squads. That's going to help Miragefla there be more aggressive, though he still needs to take the fight somewhere to the victory points. So Puma there pursuing him. The Sherman needs to be careful. He needs to be careful. He might be able to get off the take. Aim there, shot. Or aim shot. Still popping up with the Pantrick as well. Almost got it. Main gun out. Oh, pop smoke. Rather than there getting scorched, the 5th gun in fact is getting scorched there with the Flamhead. Some veterans see 113 kills. Rearson's flanking against the flat calf track, getting murdered there. Unit pinned down to the ground. Veteran 212 kills. Almost wiped out as well there. Some heavy losses to Quicksilver as he loses almost everything. He's now down to a Rearson squad, a lieutenant of 50 caliber, and a mortar half track, which is though having some impact, but still needs to pull back all the vehicle hits from the front line to get them repaired. Repair pioneers on the way for the Mechanized regiment. What Miragefla now needs to do is push. He needs to push hard for Germany. He needs to push like he's never pushed before. Meanwhile, though, Quicksilver's just going for another Sherman. But he needs to push. Come on, Miragefla. Vorwärts! Zum Endsieg! But so far, Miragefla seems a bit... well, finally something's happening in the south, but still feels a bit passive there. I mean, the faster he can just take as much territory away from his opponent, the better. Flamheads are good to again. He could cut it up again with the MG34. They're mounted on top. Flamheads are moving forward swiftly. The Flamheads was designed to actually clear out the bunkers around the Maginot Line as they were falling into our hands again. I was used to actually support the 17th process doing Operation Northway, and there we go. 5th cover there being burned up horribly. Quick retreating this time around. The other one there by us. Oh, that's a BAR drop. 5th cover recruit though. Mortar half tech with veterans who won 2 kills for America. Puma good to go. Flak half good to go. Now I also think the time really for Miragefla to get aggressive versus Quicksilver. But already now time is running out for him to really just be able to push any advantage he gained from just that crushing blow to Quicksilver, and that's actually an important thing, you know, not just being able to deal damage, but then be able to, you know, take advantage of the damage you dealt before your opponent stabilizes. And that seems to be sort of the window of opportunity that's been lost here for Miragefla, unless either Quicksilver does something really silly or Miragefla pulls off something really clever. We shall see what it ends up with. Puma there taking several hits, need to pull back for repairs, need to get the flak after support. I mean, again, he's got the machine gun carrying the center, so they should be coming better there. So it feels a bit silly. He's got the flak half tech carrying the same area as well there. Flamheads are burning there. Yankees got the machine gun up as well, need support. Burning up the Rearsons out in the open. Shem running straight forward. The Flamheads is going to go down. It's actually done a lot of damage this round. 18 kills, almost 52. Certainly a lot farther than most Flamheads will ever go. It's just not enough when it was left on its own. And there go Ken for wipe as well. Bit of loss here for Miragefla as Quicksilver is just taking out huge chunks of his forces in retaliation for the losses he suffered. And Quicksilver can now soon go for another show. In this regard, the 2 fuel caches are proving to be very advantageous. And again, tactical or raid tactics also proving to be quite handy. I mean, in that regard, you know, this certainly looking to be a much stronger doctrine now. And Miragefla is certainly struggling with the power it's got. Flag half tech Puma going for the cuff point, which actually leaves the entire northern front and the fuel there quite on guard. He's probably hoping to bait his opponent to attacking into this. Going for a second. Puma, which definitely means Miragefla at this point, has given up on taking out there to sort of push ahead for bigger elements like tanks. Meanwhile, Quicksilver already there is going for Sherman. So in this case, he's going for the regular 75mm Sherman. Ambulance pulling back there. Almost taken up. Puma there by really, really close to Victory 2. Be quite helpful there for him if he can get in there. And Rearsons with bazookas out in the open as well. Miragefla might want to consider laying down some mines using Steel and Pioneers and try and, you know, make it harder for Quicksilver to counter-attack him. But so far there's none on that. Second cash down. Definite tactical victory there for Miragefla. On the north, 50 Cub securing the fuel point. In the south here, troop charging straight into the machine guns. Oh, going to run past the flak half track. That's going to get quite unpleasant. Sherman going for the Puma here. Second Puma needs to get in. Needs to get the Ken up support as well. He's worried about an assault from the north as well. So right now Miragefla's actions seem a bit scattered here. Not quite cohesive. Still on Pioneers needs to reposition. Still no sign of mines, unfortunately. Keine Minen. Also want to reposition that MG34 to a more optimal position rather than down here, where you see at this point should be quite aware, because it's cut it off there, there's been nothing happening there or here, that nothing's gonna come. I mean, this MG34 could be more so better here or around here to that way cover the frontage much better, or support an attack towards the north. Overall though, it should not be pointing towards where nothing at all is going to happen. Sending in the Puma there on its own, pretty risky. He doesn't know what's about there. Obviously it's an armoured car, its job is reconnaissance, but still it feels a bit risky in some ways. Also got now 2 Shermans out here. Obviously we got the second one remaining as well. No dozer blades yet. But Ken is about to get flanked. Need to get the Panzer Stern Pioneers on that one. Smoke screen down there. Stern Pioneers forces need to retreat. They're being caught here by 2 Sherman tanks. Forces definitely also need to get out of there. Puma's pursuing there, going for the mortar half attack, taking a lot of bazooka fire there. The bazooka's just laying down a murderous storm of fire against any light vehicles, making much harder there from the last to move about. Infantry need to retreat. The Pumas are taking an escape route through the north. But once more, raid tactics just allows Quicksilver to gain a lot of territory very fast, increasing just the sheer mobility the Americans got. Again, it's a very strong ability, and they might need to make it a bit more expensive. Jumpers moving in there, dealing with the rear stunts, John moving in as well. Top ceiling reinforcing, flak half attack good to go, halfway to 53. Pumas in it repairs. Mirage fell down to 58 victory points. I guess he could go for a 3rd Puma here. Maybe that way gain some concentration versus the Sherman tanks with them tear apart. But still, he needs to get another victory point. In fact, he needs to grab the one in the first there because he's bleeding out fast. He's bleeding out very fast. Meanwhile, we got a 5th cab more on the way here for Quicksilver, meaning he's got up your 3 machine guns. Which means it's going to be pretty difficult there from the last at that point to reach any of the points easily. More Fultz Grenadiers. Finally getting some movement on side there again. Critical reposition. Here's the Puma coming in. Even popping armor piercing rounds. Puma needs to get a bit further in and then it can deal with it. Cutting apart with his crouch machine gun, forces down from the side. Almost wiping the 5th car machine gun, second Puma moving in. And could even try and seal it and turn against Mirage, but that would not be a half-bet choice. Sherman there arriving with infantry support. No dozer blades there, which by the way increases health but also allows you to deal with obstacles and the likes. Sherman himself 6 moving in there. 5th armor doing what he can there. Goes still hits it from the Pumas. Might want to focus down the whatever he can, just prioritize one of them over the other. Eventually 3 almost down the Puma in the center, flak half track with MU-34 support. Stalling to Yankees. But up here, infantry moving in, they're going to need the flak half track with the MU-34 support here against all the bazooka troops. Fultz moving in there, eventually 3 half-H, eventually 4. Pumas allowing the Shermans to slowly roll back. He could try and sneak up for a few more hits. They should have the advantage there in range. And the bazooka team's being pushed back there by the Fultz Grenadiers. In the centre there, assault continue. Flak half attack isn't doing too much. We've got a Stuka barrage off somewhere. On the 5th cab, I guess. Which by being given 2 extra rockets. That's up north there, where it achieves absolutely nothing there. So tries to hit an infantry team. Sherman there, could be an easy target there for the Pumas in the centre there. Troops getting massacred by the flak half attack in the MU-34, which is now victory 3. And there you go, annihilated. Definite victory there for Mirage. Up with victory points wise. He's got 2 finally. But still, he feels too passive here. He feels too passive. I mean, he could actually be hitting the Sherman if he wanted to. Another 76mm Sherman on the way there for Quicksilver. Mirage is going for a 3rd Puma. He's not pushing for the southern victory point. I mean, he's got tons of infantry, so it's not like he can't do it. Quick grenade. A bit late though. Sherman's attacking to the Pumas. Need to pull back 1 Puma. Need to get the Stern Pioneers out of there as well. He's going to lose at least the lead Puma there. Eventually 3 Puma might have a chance. He was quickly looking back there. Steel Pioneers moving up. Still no sign of the flat half attack on MU-34 support versus the end of the sweeping bazooka teams that are following up on Quicksilver's armoured assaults. And there you go, another Puma out from Miragefla and the 17th SS. Sadly, no more Opel Blitzers from Miragefla. Keine Opel Blitz. They would give him some, I think, more mobility, allow him to push harder for the points. And with Mix now see here in the south, Quicksilver's moving in, one of his Shams just defend it there to ensure that Miragefla can't get all three easily without committing, in which case he might have to strip, other frontages, clear of Pumas to have a chance, which of course means they're going to be more vulnerable to armoured assaults. So it's a bit of a tricky balance there for Miragefla. We'll have to see what he does. But certainly we can see the shortcomings of a Puma-reliant strategy against an opponent who can bring up a lot of, Sherman tanks, in particular ones with the 76mm guns. So far, though, Hazardness is all we got. He could actually try and steal the 50 cup. If he can get the 50 cup, set it up, he could actually defend the northern victory point somewhat easily, in particular with the Kednab supporting. He should be able to use to buy time for the Pumas to react as he pushes for the south. But again, Miragefla seems heavily passive, which is definitely not the Oberkommando's strong suit. Particularly not if it has to rely on Pumas. There you go, Veteran 4. But almost lost. It's definitely going to lose the Puma up there for the Shermans. There you go. Down he goes. Fox about to get wiped out. Steel Pioneers pulling forward with the Panzer artillery fire raining down. Puma creeping ahead again, but it keeps. And there's still no anti-infantry support. The flat calf attacks not being dispatched, for example. So this is looking pretty rough. Of Miragefla holding to float more and more manpower. Steel Pioneers gaining Veteran 4. Puma pulling back for repairs, realising can't pull through with that. Another 5th cab on the way there for Quicksilver and the 5th Armoured. And raid tactics again out here from Quicksilver. Grabbing the northern fuel point again away here from Miragefla. He's down to 27. Starting to look pretty bad there for Miragefla. Actually, 4, almost 35 then the Puma. In the south, Folks was running straight to the Sherman there. He's sending his Puma down there. And the light infantry gun actually needs to be pulled back then. That's in a pretty bad spot. 5th coming down there, Puma going straight for the Sherman. Good hit. Another good hit. Down to half health. Might consider using aim shot here. Got it. Needs to pop smoke before the 5th cover takes it apart with its armor piercing rounds. There you go. So an ace Puma out here from Miragefla. That's some relief, though he's still floating a ton of manpower and sadly not getting anywhere with it. In this, he's being down to victory points down to 80 now versus 399 there with the 3rd Sherman on the way there for Quicksilver. Now they're kidding with another Puma there for Miragefla. Got the Shermans thrown to the south. Puma there fixed up almost, but the problem is I don't think it's going to be able to take on 2 Shermans. They're not when they're going to be barreling straight for him. There you go, almost got it. Even the Puma that actually fast not be able to do it. He could pop smoke. Sherman down, I think almost the Sherman behind it took out the lead one. Alright, it didn't, but I've been a bit sad. But still, that is the loss of an ace Puma crew for Miragefla. And now we can just see Quicksilver charging ahead. They're going to rush the victory point in the centre of south with the 5th caliber, grabbing it swiftly. Jumping in there, causing havoc behind Miragefla's lines, making it hard for focus on the victory point, which is losing. Up north, 5th caliber was fine recruit, taking up positions there. Sherman laying down a smoke screen to cover the retreat. He just drives straight through Miragefla's base, almost like an extended middle finger to Miragefla. Take that, Hitler! I don't think Hitler was there. Shut up, Carl. What are you, a Nazi? A lot of bazooka hits there on the Puma. Unit wiped, and overall, I would say this is GG for Miragefla. Now he's trying to catch the Sherman. He's losing victory points. and bleeding out his forces in the process. Oh, it's got a 5th cover finally secured somehow, but again, he's pouring all of his efforts and machine guns on the centre, none elsewhere. So there you go, GG, game over. Match there from the December balance preview. 1.6 for some of the new changes, the new commanders and the likes there. Overall, though, Quicksilver, I think, overall had the upper hand. They was more flexible, aggressive, and just took better advantage of the map. Whereas Miragefla over-focused in the centre, positioned almost all of his oppressive firepower, the flat calf track, and the machine guns. Never really focused out in the north, the south, and never really, besides some few early attempts at the opponent's fuel point, never really tried anything bigger there. So it feels like Miragefla suffered from a severe case of Stalingrad syndrome, almost to the point, they're, surrendering to the rations, despite being fighting versus the Americans. So that could definitely be, I think, executed a bit more agile by Miragefla in some ways. I mean, he had some interesting choices there from his doctrine, but never quite, I think, utilised them, and the upper blitz was a bit wasted. Still, I mean, obviously he's working with the new doctrine, so obviously mistakes are bound to happen, but even then it felt a bit too over-focused on the centre. But go play there by Quicksilver as well. Good use of the doctrine, making good use of raid tactics, and the rest of the abilities and vehicles yet to use. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe to your friends, share it with everyone. If you like what I do, consider donating or pledging on Patreon. Links in the video description. This is Imperial Dancing. Cheers. Thank you for watching. And of course, a big thanks to my patron support as well. See you all tomorrow for another exciting episode. Bye.